Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Gold, joining you on Tuesday. And what a great, lovely Tuesday it is. The sun is out. Arsenal are 7 points clear at the top of the Premier League. What a special night that was at the Emirates last night. It's been a long time coming since that game at Wolves, way before the break for the World Cup. But Arsenal returned last night, and they returned in style, beating West Ham 3-1. And I have to say, it was one of the most special nights I've had at the Emirates for a long time. The atmosphere, the second half fight back, the fact that Arsene Wenger was there for the first time, which, if you, like me, just still hold Arsene Wenger in the highest of esteem. Seeing him back there, I mean, you've got to have a heart of stone if you don't get a little tingle when you see those videos of him celebrating the goals. And when the crowd sang his name, when they saw him pop up on the big screen just in the aftermath of the second goal, and they realised he was there, and the cheer that went around the Emirates, the singing of his name, him waving. It's just a really special night. And just before it, we sort of learned that the Mudryk bid had gone in. It was just it wasn't the normal sort of 90 minutes at the Emirates. It was a really special night, I thought. A lot's going on, and I just loved it. It was brilliant to be back, and I thought it was a fabulous performance as well. Lots to like about the performance. I'll talk about that. Look at what Mikel Arteta have to say. I'll talk about Mudryk as well, player ratings. Lots to discuss, so let's get cracking. I mean, performance-wise, I thought Arsenal were excellent. I thought they were good in the first half. I thought they were very unlucky to go 1-0 down. I thought they played well. It was just that last final ball or the finish was just a little bit lacking in the first half. And in terms of performance-wise, I thought they played really well. Good intensity, pushed West Ham back. And then it was just one of those moments, a total random breakaway. Saliba just got it a little bit wrong, gave away the penalty. And you sort of go in half-time thinking didn't deserve it. But it was. I sat there at half-time. I was speaking to a few people down in the press room at half-time, just saying, this is a big test now, because everyone's the narrative ahead of the game. People were looking at it saying, Gabriel Jesus is injured. Will Arsenal be able to pick up where they left off before the World Cup? And, Arsenal have been well aware of that. And I think the fact that they went into half-time 1-0 down, you could already tell people were sharpening their knives a little bit. Even just looking at the comments on my timeline from Arsenal fans on social media during the first half, lots of criticism of Eddie Nketiah, who I thought actually played well in the first half. The narrative was there, and I think Arsenal would have been well aware of that half-time. So to come out and play like they did in the second half, to score those goals, to turn it round the way they did, for Nketiah to score, I just thought it was a fantastic second half. It was everything Mikel Arteta would have wanted from his side. It was everything he would have demanded from his side when he sent them back out for the second half. Scored some really good goals. First one, a little bit of luck, obviously, the way that Odegaard's shot went to Saka, but the second one, yes, probably Fabianski should have saved it, but again, really quick feet from Martinelli to work the position and get the shot away. And the third goal was just fabulous. It was just brilliant from Nketiah, superb from Ben White. The team move was great, and it was just a really top performance. And as you can tell, I'm still a little bit buzzing from that game. And for Arsenal to be 7 points clear now at Boxing Day, after Boxing Day, is a fantastic sight. Obviously, Man City have got their game to come tomorrow. But for now, let's just enjoy the fact that Arsenal are 7 points clear. Mikel Arteta absolutely delighted, as you can imagine, after the game with the performance, with a lot of the individual performances. He spoke a lot afterwards about Arsene Wenger as well, so I'll talk about that. But I wanted to... Martin Odegaard yesterday, it was a virtuoso performance from Odegaard, absolutely, especially in the second half. But I thought in the first half, he was the one man who really looked like making something happen for Arsenal. He was so direct yesterday. I think he had more shots than anyone else, and that doesn't normally happen. I think one criticism we've got of Odegaard is that he doesn't shoot enough when he's in good positions, but he certainly did yesterday. He got a bit of a luck with the one that he scuffed that went to Saka for the first goal. But he deserved that luck with that performance. He was just came into his own in the second half. The little flick that he did on Paqueta, honestly, the noise of the Emirates when he did that, it was like Arsenal had scored a goal. The roar that went round, it was just brilliant to see. And he's such a good player. He's such a joy to watch when he's on that sort of form. And I thought he was brilliant. Mikel yesterday said a top performance. And you look at everything he did with the ball, but as well what he did without the ball, the way he guided the team in many moments, the presence that he had in the way that we played today. He had a real impact on that, and he absolutely does. When Odegaard plays well, Arsenal play well. It's as simple as that. Unfortunately for Arsenal at the moment, Odegaard plays well a lot. And absolutely loved watching him. He kind of epitomises everything that's good about this young Arsenal team, I think. Not just because he's by far the most technically gifted player in that Arsenal squad, but the work rate, like Mikel says there, what he does off the ball is just so good, and he does just epitomise what is everything that is good about this Arsenal side. Nketiah as well, got to speak about him before I go through my player ratings. I thought Eddie, like I said in the first half, I saw some comments in the people beginning to get on his back a little bit on social media as that first half went on yesterday, which I thought was harsh because I thought he actually played well in the first half. There was a couple of moments maybe he got decision making a little bit wrong, but it's not like Gabriel Jesus doesn't do that. And if we're going to really nitpick on Eddie every single time and then compare him to Jesus every single time, it's just, he's not Jesus. We've got to get out of that. And I thought his performance yesterday was really good, and his goal just capped it off completely. Mikel was speaking about it afterwards, and he was delighted. He said he's a confident lad anywhere, but all strikers need to score goals, so he's going to do this. Will do him the world of good, and he knew that. And the finish, the turn, the way, the strength he's using, that is something he's really improved on. I think just from the start of this season, his strength when he's up against defenders, his ability to play with his back to goal is so much better than it used to be. And the way he rolled the defender, I thought was really, really good yesterday in the finish. I mean, we know that Eddie can finish. He's probably the best finisher Arsenal have at the football club. So that was no surprise when we saw him put it into the bottom corner. But I just loved the way he turned with his back to goal and rolled the defender. And it was just a brilliant goal, that really, really special goal. And so fair play to Nketiah. That was a big moment for him. All eyes were on him, lots of focus on him. He would have been well aware of that, and he would have known what would have happened if Arsenal, if he hadn't scored and if the result had gone his way, everyone would have been on his back. So to play like he did, to cap it off with a goal, I think he deserves great, great credit. Okay, so before player ratings wise, before I get onto Wenger's return, Ramsdale 7, made a couple of good saves. I thought, especially that last one, just to keep it 3-2 in the last minute, was a really good save. He barely had anything to do in the second half, so he kept himself alert. That was good. So I gave Ramsdale 7, White an 8, Saliba, Gabriel and Tierney I all gave 7s. Partey I gave an 8. I thought Partey was brilliant. His battle with Declan Rice was really, really good. And the first goal, was it the first goal? I think it was the first goal. That all stemmed from Partey, brilliant tackle when Rice was trying to break away, and then the ball eventually got fed out to Odegaard and then to Saka for the goal. But it all started with Thomas Partey, and I thought he played really, really well. Partey gets an 8, Xhaka 7, Odegaard 9, man of the match for me. Odegaard was just brilliant to watch. Saka 8, Nketiah 8, and Martinelli 8. So yeah, lots of good ratings there. I thought all round it was a really, really good performance. First half was decent, even though things didn't really go Arsenal's way, but second half, just an absolute joy to watch at times. Really, really good football. Okay, so the big man, Arsene Wenger, back at the Emirates for the first time since leaving the club in 2018. I think it's 1,695 days since that game again. God, it's so long ago I can't even remember. They played with Burnley, I think it was, wasn't it, when they went out and for his final game at the Emirates. It's been too long, no doubt about it. It's been a real shame that he hasn't felt comfortable to come back. It's really, I don't know how else to describe it other than the shame, because it has been. It's just that the fact that the relationship had become that strained and that broken almost between him and the club, that he felt like he wasn't comfortable to come back to the stadium, which, let's face it, he helped build. It just felt like a really special moment. The fact that he was there, they kept it under wraps, which I think was a good thing. They didn't make a big song and dance out of it. We sort of learned just before kick-off that he was there, and then again they still didn't sort of announce him to the crowd, and then it was just like suddenly the camera panned to him after the second goal, and the moment when the whole Emirates realised he was there and saw him on the big screens, the cheers that went round, the chants that went round. It was just a really, really special moment, and it just felt like a big moment certainly for Wenger, but for Arsenal as well. And you just that clearly that first big step in publicly mending that relationship that needs to be mended, because Arsene Wenger absolutely deserves to be around the club. He deserves to be able to go whenever he wants and sit in that director's box and watch a game and enjoy watching Arsenal play. And yeah, like I said, you got to have a heart of stone. If you didn't enjoy, you didn't get a tingle, the hairs stand up on the back of your neck when you saw him celebrating Martinelli's goal, and then the roar that went round. It was just a great moment on a great night. And Mikel has played a massive part in getting Wenger here. Obviously, Wenger was the manager who signed Mikel. He's a huge influence on his career, and he's been desperate to get him back. He's spoken publicly about it at times. He's been trying to do it, and obviously he's left it up to Arsene to pick the right time, and he felt it was yesterday. Speaking after the game, Arteta said, look, the players didn't know, and we wanted to keep it quiet and allow space for Arsene. It was a really special day. Thank you so much for him to come in. Hopefully walking through the building, he's going to feel that everything and that what everybody thinks of him and everything that he left here. His presence is something that has to be very attached to this football club. So thank you to him for doing it, because it means a lot to everybody at the club. I asked Mikel, how involved were you in it? And he said, look, I've been really involved in the process. It's about him, though, the time in that he needed to make that step, and hopefully he's going to live here and be willing to spend more time with us and be around, because he's such an influence for me personally, my career and the way I see the game, but as well for this football club. So yeah, really special. I thought Wenger's return, great to see. Been too long, and hopefully we're going to see him as much more regular face around the Emirates in the sort of weeks and months to come. Okay, so transfer-wise, Mykhailo Mudryk, the first bid has gone in. That was the big news. It's sort of as we got to the Emirates yesterday, there was whispers. I think a reporter in Ukraine had reported that the first bid had gone in. Obviously, we all got winded out with the journalists who were down. We'd seen it, and then it's about trying to stand it up and make sure the information is correct. It is, and the first official offer has now gone in from Arsenal for Mudryk, which feels like a big move. It's around about all in. I know there's different few figures going around. It's tough to know the exact final figure because everyone sort of keeps things close to their chest. But as far as I'm aware, it's around about the sort of 55 million, 57 million type mark. That's including all the add-ons, which I think is a good price. I don't think Shakhtar have come out and officially rejected it yet. I don't think they'll accept it. So I think Arsenal will probably have to go back. There'll be further negotiation to come, but it's a big step. It shows that Arsenal mean business. They're trying to get it done very, very early. We're, of course, not even in the transfer window yet. That doesn't open until January the 1st. So the fact Arsenal have made this move now, that it's very clear they want to get this done early. They want him. They sign him. He is a priority to sign this January. He clearly wants to make the move. I mean, he's talked about it publicly before, but the fact that he actually posted a video of himself on his Instagram story last night watching the game, I mean, you can't get more blatant than that, can you? It was your classic come and get me plea, and a message to everyone around the world that he is taking a very keen interest in what is going on at Arsenal. Whether they can wrap it up like that, we'll have to wait and see, but the fact that they've made this move is clearly a big, big step. And it's the first step towards hopefully getting the deal done for a player. They want to act fast. I mean, you're looking at what Liverpool have done now. They've made their move. They've pretty much got Gakpo done and dusted already from PSV. They've made a move early, and this is what Arsenal are trying to do as well. I think it's not the easiest deal to get done. It's a lot of similarities with Arshavin, obviously, and we know how that dragged on through the whole of January back in the day. Hopefully this one doesn't drag on anything like that, but we'll have to wait and see just how resolute Shakhtar are in their stance. I mean, we know publicly, very publicly, they have valued Mudryk at around £90 million. They cannot see any way that Arsenal are going to go near that, so some negotiation is going to happen. But the fact that Arsenal have made their first move, and I think it's a fair price when you look at what Liverpool are playing for Gakpo, and I know Mudryk has done very well in the Champions League this season, but still, when you look at what Liverpool are playing for Gakpo, and you look at the goals he scored for PSV, the number of goals he scored, you look at what he's done in the World Cup, then it's very hard for Shakhtar to really keep pointing at Antony and Jadon Sancho as examples of how much Arsenal should be paying. So I think the price that they've offered all in with add-ons, I think is a very, very fair price for a 21-year-old who's only ever played in Ukraine. So we'll wait and see. But I mean, I asked Mikel about it after the game. Said, look, the bid's gone in. Is there anything you can say? And this is standard response from Mikel. You know that I never speak to about other players who are not with us. It might be that you have to ask the question, but we said we'll try to find ways to strengthen the team. We'll find the right players, and that's all I can say. I then said, look, Mudryk's posted a video of himself watching the games. It please you that he's taken an interest. And he said, look, it's a good thing for England that you don't have any other matches in other countries. We are the only ones playing through Christmas, so hopefully a lot of people watch the game, and we gave them a good show. So a very diplomatic response from Mikel Arteta, who, as usual, doesn't even throw us a bone when it comes to transfers when we ask him questions on it in the press conference. But look, it had to be done, and so that was a response. But yeah, exciting nonetheless. I'm such a huge Mudryk fan. The fact that Arsenal are really trying to get this deal done is a very exciting one for me, who has been following him since the first time I saw him as about an 18-year-old kid. 19-year-old, I think, might have been destroying Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. I had no idea who he was. I had to search on Google, just like, who is this Shakhtar number 56, who I just saw racing down the left wing with that low centre of gravity that the players just couldn't get the ball off his feet. So if Arsenal get him done, personally for me, it's going to be really, really exciting, and I'd love to see it, but not done yet. So let's see how the negotiation goes as we approach the January transfer window. Right, that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching. Everyone enjoyed doing this video today. Lots of good things to talk about, lots of upbeat things to talk about. Football is back, Arsenal are back. They're 7 points clear at the top of the Premier League. Have a fantastic day. I'll speak to you soon.